So if you're a big Jessica Jones fans, like, say goodbye. You know, if you like the Punisher, get ready for that to be gone.
Harlem was doing okay, got the boot. The Iron Fist will live on, not really. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, is it almost a no-brainer that poor old Daredevil himself got the axe?
Yeah.
I think the Daredevil getting canceled of it all, I think what that did is solidify that, like, oh, we know what Disney's plans, what Marvel Disney's plans are. Because before that, we're like, well, Iron Fist, that's fine. You know, Luke Cage, oh, that hurts, but whatever. Daredevil brought that good vibe, the goodwill that Marvel really hadn't had since the first season of Jessica Jones and Daredevil season 1, right?
Yeah, agreed.
So, like, that's my thing. I mean, I like Luke Cage. I just feel like those seasons are too long. Like, they have the Netflix bloat, like, you know, some of the shows do. But I think what Daredevil getting canceled is like, yo, if you had any thought that they were going to keep that and Jessica Jones and Punisher, nah, just get rid of that fucking thought now. It's going to hurt less if you rip that Band-Aid off now, just because, like, if they canceled this, which season 3 I think definitely brought the goodwill back, they're not going to keep any of this other shit. Like, the mouse is too powerful. I think it's happening. But, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What'd you say, man?
Oh, I was listening.
Oh, I thought you were about to say something.
No, I was listening. I'm sorry.
I'm hearing fucking footsteps and shit.
No. It's all good. Listen, yeah, you can't stop the fucking snap from the mouse. Right. So again, let's be real and let's talk about the obvious. Is a lot of this going to be involved with the Disney, you know, streaming service coming out next fall? Absolutely. You know, are people upset? Yeah, you better fucking believe it. You know, but something like this, is it really a shocker now seeing this and, you know, seeing poor old Daredevil get the axe? So
I mean, it's
I don't
again,
think he saw shit.
Yeah, he didn't see a damn thing. He didn't see this coming at all. No, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, again, it's just like I'm surprised because of how good Daredevil season 3 was. Yeah. And you know me, I shit talked the hell out of season 2. I'm like, this shit got so silly with all the ninjas and shit out of nowhere. But like, they brought back that gritty street level kind of crime that I think we love from Daredevil. And just like in terms of an emotional storytelling, right? They gave everyone a byline. Like, you understand Wilson Fisk, you understand Matt Murdock, Foggy, everyone. I mean, I know some people didn't like the subplots, the FBI stuff, but I'm going to be honest. I was engaged with pretty much everything with season 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just sad because this is probably the best season they put. I honestly like this more than season 1, if I'm going to be bold about it.
Yeah.
So it just sucks that they're going. The bigger question is, how does this proceed? Because Netflix owns these seasons. They paid for them. They produced them. They're going to be on their streaming service for a while. Even if they keep the characters, if they have Charlie Cox show up in something else, it's not going to be season 4 Daredevil, right? It's going to have to be a completely new thing, or they're going to have to put him in a different superheroes TV show, you know? So that's my big question, is just like, what's next for any of these characters?
I think looking at this is as much as people wanted to believe that Daredevil season 3 was going to keep the Netflix shows alive. Right. I think in the back of everybody's minds, they knew that this was going to happen. It's just not a good business. It doesn't make good business sense for Disney to have their streaming service and then competing with Netflix and then giving marketing to Netflix. You know, I mean, it's just that didn't make sense at all. And I think, you know, a lot of people, and they also said, you know something, we're hoping that what they did with Luke Cage and Iron Fist, maybe that's just going to be a move to a new show. Everybody's talking about Heroes for Hire.
Of course.
You know, Jessica Jones will get another season. Punisher's getting another season, which will be the last. We know that.
Confirmed, I think, pretty much at this point.
Yeah. But I think people looking at Daredevil to say, all right, we are hoping against all odds that this will keep going. But I think people knew, all right, if they cancel that, then that is going to be the sign that it's all done, and now it's happening.
I think we should have seen the writing when Disney started pulling their movies, man. Remember, Disney made a big deal with Netflix. We're like, oh, we're going to give you all the Marvel movies. We'll give you all the Star Wars movies. They'll be first platform to get it, right, before even home release and stuff like that. And they ended that pact. I mean, they started pulling that stuff almost immediately. So I think, like, it's not... I mean, it's you're right. It's more of a wishful thinking thing. We were all like, no, just because 2 + 2 = 4 doesn't mean it will this time, right? Like, nah, the math was always against us, and this is just the furthering. This is the confirmation of it. So if you're a big Jessica Jones fans, like, say goodbye. You know, if you like the Punisher, get ready for that to be gone. I don't think we've seen the last of any of these characters, but I don't know. Do you think that we're going to see Charlie Cox as Daredevil again? Do you think we're going to see like Luke Cage again as this iteration of it, or no?
I mean, I want to, right? Like, you know, was it Charlie Cox and then D'Onofrio, right? Vincent?
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah. I mean, God, their performances were amazing. Corey, I'm not sure if you know this. They actually had reports where they had D'Onofrio say, like, hey, I would love to be Kingpin in the new Spider-Man series, right? And the
Yeah,
way,
because that's a Marvel check from Marvel itself.
Yeah, you know. So, and not only that, they also technically said, well, Christian, we were watching a video before we started the show here, where they were saying technically how everything works with the licensing and all that stuff. Those characters could technically somehow join these Marvel films, and it won't be like this insane copyright licensing issue. So it can very well happen. For the sake of just kind of confusing the audience, do you think it's going to happen? And that's why I depressingly say, well, no, I don't think we're going to get these characters again, but I would love to see them again.
Do you think they would be better serviced as a new television show, or have them make the jump to the main universe, right? Because you're going to have a lot of these original Avengers, man. The contracts are up, and I'm sure they'll stick around in some capacity. But just like, you know, Tony Stark kind of like fucked off after Iron Man 3, and he showed up in, you know, advisory roles and stuff like that. He's a presence, but he's not the main focus point. And I'm just wondering if they do something like that, just because the amount of people that are going to leave the A team, right? Like, there's going to be holes to fill for sure.
For sure. I mean, with everything happening, Disney has already gone out and said that, listen, Disney wants Daredevil. They are going to do things with that, you know, with just Daredevil in general as a character. So, but with the whole Loki and the Scarlet Witch of it all, like, do you think they're going to kind of do like a soft reboot of like, hey, here's a new Daredevil series, or you think Daredevil's going to be now included in these, maybe not in the Loki show per se, but maybe in that like Falcon?
Yeah, because they're more street level, but I would say they're all over the place. They're in Wakanda, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's a different thing. You got to get another street level kind of crime show. And I think that's where he makes his best kind of debut.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you put Daredevil, you spend 3 seasons making him a street level crime fighter, and then suddenly have him fighting like Galactus, if that's who they're going to bring in, you know what I mean, now that they have Fox. It just seems like that's going to be way too jarring.
Yeah. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. And Tosis, I've been neglecting you. How are you guys doing? Let's go ahead and see what Todd has to say. He says, of all the Netflix shows and characters, I'd love to see Jessica Jones and Punisher in a movie setting. Daredevil also, and Luke Cage, depending on what they do with him. Iron Fist, no. Well, guess what? The Iron Fist is going to live on.